Welcome to Young Hollywood, where we let you watch TV and hang out in a hotel room that looks like a nightclub.
Those guys are funny.
We're talking about Ed Helms and Jason Segel.
Yeah.
Have you met them? Have you worked with them before?
Ed Helms actually, yes, Ed Helms and I have worked together before.
Have you?
Can't tell you on what project.
Oh, does that mean upcoming?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, the subject matter. You know when you're going to do a film like this, if there's going to be nudity involved. For me, I'd be dieting for like probably 6 months ahead of time. How do you sort of eat fresh and stay in shape?
It's so funny because I'm constantly working. I'm very, very active. I can't help it. It's just in my nature. I've done nude scenes and other things before, and I realize when I think I'm being really healthy, it's not portrayed that way. So I usually don't really, I can't focus on it anymore. I can't. Like, I can't diet. I can't do an extreme diet for a week just to lose body fat. It's not possible. I have no willpower.
And what about sugar? You said sugar addict? What is your go-to?
Cakes and cookies, and I really like waffles and syrup.
So this film, I know you've talked about, I think you talked about Sharon Stone, and there was a moment, I think sort of towards the beginning of filming, where she slaps you.
Yeah, second day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that it's sort of, and you said it sort of like, it almost like shook you into character in a sense.
It absolutely did. I mean, the thing is, I was terrified. I got on set. You know, all the preparation that you do, all the research that you do, it adds up to this to that first day on set. And at this point, you have to live it, and you have to be ready. And I didn't feel ready for some reason. And Sharon was right there, and she's very maternal. So she came from that angle, and she's also been in this business for so many years, and she just had a lot of good advice. Like, she didn't push anything on me. She was just like, "You got this. You're gonna be okay." And the slap really, I mean, it's definitely, and it's your reaction to it is never going to be what you expect, because we're not used to being slapped. It's like, we're not used to being manhandled in any way with violence. I mean, I'm referencing like the violent scenes with Peter Sarsgaard, who plays my husband, but for the most part, it's always surprising. It's always an education.
Well, along those lines, I wanted to ask you, as an A-lister in Hollywood, the best advice you've ever received. Do actors actually, maybe earlier on in your career, you've worked with so many incredible people. Has anybody given you some amazing advice?
Man, yeah, totally. I'd have to say Russell Crowe has been in this business for a long time as well, and you know, I guess it just he gives advice just by existing in a certain way, that it's just, you know, nothing's as important as family.
And in terms of you giving advice, because I read that when you read the script, you sort of said it was the riskiest thing that's happening in Hollywood right now, and therefore you wanted to take that role. What advice is that something you would advise like new actors and people trying to get into the business to do, is always sort of challenge themselves and take those risks?
That's the thing. I'm not a risk taker in life.
You're not a bungee jumper.
No, I mean, that's just the last thing I want to do. But in terms of my career, I just feel like life is so short, and to get these opportunities, it's so rare to, especially when you have to tell someone else's story. It's, you know, a non-fiction story. You want to speak to people, and you want to get a message across, and it's a lot of responsibility, and it's very scary, but like the emotional education that you get from it is worth everything, I think, as an actor and as a human being. I just think that if you want to be an actor, then you jump in head first.
Well, when you were young, is this something you always want to do? Like when you were young, what did you say you wanted to be when you grew up?
Oh, a meteorologist and a ballerina.
So such similar paths too. Why a meteorologist?
I was obsessed with Twister and Storm Chaser on the Weather Channel, and there's another movie with Devon Sawa, Night of the Twister, on Fox Family, when it was Fox Family. And I don't know, I was just obsessed with tornadoes because they just form out of nowhere and they devastate, and I just, you know, nature is pretty spectacular, and so I was obsessed with it. So I would dress up like Helen Hunt with my little wife beater and khaki shorts, and I'd go outside when the weather seemed dangerous, and I would look down in my notebook because I printed out all this stuff about weather. But I think it's because I wanted to channel Helen Hunt as the actress,
right,
as her character, instead of, I didn't really care exactly what she was doing. It's just funny to me.
Before I let you go, I read something, I think it was in an article recently, it was like the funniest drinking tip I've ever heard. You were drinking a margarita, and you
yeah.
said you keep adding water to it, and that is your tip for not getting too drunk.
Also, to prevent a hangover.
You stay hydrated?
Man. Yeah, of course. That's all I ever do. I actually flavor my water, so I drink more every day, and then at night, if I'm drinking, I'll have one drink at dinner, and I'll keep pouring water in it, and it still stays sweet, and you still get a little buzz, and it's nice. I really, really love margaritas, and they're a little too sweet for me, so I usually add water in right away. It's really silly, but it works, I swear.
I'm going to try that. Thank you for coming in. It was great seeing you, and congratulations on the film.
Thanks.